That is an interesting one, yes.
Great. So do we have any more pills?
This is the last one that I really want to talk about, which is the one on neuroplasticity.
Okay, great. Another excellent subject to talk about, and I'm sure this is going to be very, very knowledgeable for our viewers.
So, in fact, the expert on this is one of the world's leadingest experts on neurosciences. So, just as what Carl Sagan was to cosmology, there's Dr. Paul Brown, and please look up his books. Please read him. You'll find enough videos. You'll find enough material on Dr. Paul Brown. So, Dr. Paul Brown is the world's leadingest neuroscientist. I was just very, very lucky to meet him during my Oxford stint, and he's 80 years old, so his wisdom is precious, very, very precious right now. Neuroplasticity is how you change behaviors or pick up winning habits or create winning habits. Now, what neuroplasticity says is that for the way the brain works is that for every action there's a set neural pathway. So every stimulus triggers a response which sets up a particular neural pathway in motion. So for instance, you feel thirsty. So a certain neural pathway has got triggered and thirst gets transmitted to your throat feeling parched, to your tongue being dry, to you, therefore there is the trigger to go pick up a bottle of water, pour it into a glass, and then you sort of, once you've consumed the water, is when when thirst gets sated, is when that neural pathway dies out. Right? Same thing happens. So for every action there's a neural pathway. You get angry. The moment you've gotten angry, the glucose is flowing to your limbic system, your prefrontal cortex gets no glucose. Limbic system is concerned with survival, it immediately goes into the predatory or the prey mode. Immediately, their physiological responses, BP goes up, pupils get dilated, blood rushes to the extremities, and you're preparing for either fight or flight. And that's a neural pathway that gets triggered. Cortisol gets released, your body's gone into pure survival mechanism, fear mechanism. And just like that for everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing, but every activity triggers off a neural pathway. The urge to smoke. So there is an urge to smoke, your body feels nicotine depleted, there is a sense of exhaustion that sets in, your eyes start drooping. Till that urge is fulfilled with the nicotine kick that comes in, you will continue, the neural pathway is in action. So if you want to change habits, you change your neural pathways. So just like muscles, so if you're working out and you want to build on a certain muscle, you just work it out more. So you focus on your core, you focus on your biceps, you do bicep curls if you want to build up the bicep. Now supposing you want a lean look, what do you do to that bicep?
And then you don't focus on weights as much as reps.
You don't do anything. You just let it be. Okay. You don't sit there, saying, I'm going to kill that muscle. I'm going to make it leaner. I'm going to make it thinner. You don't do any of that. So you just ignore the muscle that you don't want to build. Okay. And it atrophies, the function atrophies. Right. Neuroplasticity is exactly the same thing in your mind. Every repeated action, so there's this fabulous saying in Hindi, karat karat abhyas ke jalmati ho to sujan. So the more water that flows down a rock, and if there's continuous water stream, it will leave its mark on the rock. Yeah. Exactly the same thing happens in your brain. So if you want to change the direction of that of the water or establish a new habit, what you need to do is alternate pathway. You can't undo a pathway. Right. There's nothing that you can't not do. You have to do something affirmative. Right? So supposing it's about getting angry. And we were talking about it earlier. So you can't say, I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get angry, because the brain doesn't realize it. So we spoke about how technology, we've been true to ourselves in technology than in real life. Technology is binary. Okay. It's a 0 and a 1. Right. Guess where that inspiration came from?
From the brain.
Your brain is binary. It's a 0 or a 1. It doesn't have the concept of a negative. So when you're saying, I'm not going to get angry, I'm not going to get angry, not going to get angry, it doesn't recognize not. It only hears the word angry. And that's the neural pathway it gets triggered. Okay. So if you have to not get angry, you have to do something else. So you either drink water or you focus on breathing, whatever the alternate pathway you want to set up.
Right.
So neuroplasticity is about setting up those alternate pathways that change your habits or your behaviors. And I find that fascinating because the Bhagavad Gita said it long before neuroplasticity became fashionable. The Bhagavad Gita says, Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. So you don't take away darkness.
Ah, okay.
You know, so I'm not going to take away darkness. What will I do? There's create a vacuum, there's no concept of a vacuum. I will introduce light. You don't take away untruths. You introduce truths.
Right.
And to me, if you ask me personally, Dharmendra, this has been by far the most important life hack that I've ever believed in, which is to take away the negatives from my life and replace them with an alternate positive. So creating alternate pathways is what I learned from neuroplasticity. It was wonderful spending time with Dr. Paul Brown. He actually wants to bring this in the space of organizations, leadership, and management to create fear-free organizations. So you must, in fact, whenever you get the opportunity, you really must look up what he says. So he actually summarizes the whole idea of neuroplasticity and creating alternate neural pathways into 3 steps, which is becoming aware, focused attention, and repeated behavior. क्योंकि strengthen करना होता है ना neural pathway को. So becoming aware, focused attention, and repeated behavior. In the process of thinking, we actually said that the 3 steps to acting are Ichha, Jnana, Kriya. Ichha is desire or becoming aware. Jnana is focused attention or gaining knowledge. And Kriya, which is the action, which is the behavior, which is the repeated behavior.
Right. Right.
So they aren't as different as we think they might be.
Yes, I've always been uncomfortable with the term unlearn. Because
anything.
Yeah, because how can you unlearn? It's learning is a change in skill, knowledge, or understanding. And you can't go to the person and say, okay, now forget what my name is.
Yeah.
He'll never forget.
All that they know is your name. So it's like, I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep. You know this as children also often, right? I remember when we were little, we used to watch this movie called Mary Poppins. And there's a whole lullaby where she says, stay awake, don't close your eyes. Because the kids are protesting.
Yeah. Well, that's I guess a psychological technique called taking the side of the problem. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
now the kids are saying, I'm going to fall asleep because you're telling me to stay awake.
Correct. But anything that I'm not going to do, rest assured, that is all that my brain is obsessed with.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, so those are some of the things that we did through the journey of 52 Red Pills. Some of them, it's interesting how while those were toe dips, they were just 1 week long toe dips, and small inquiries into things that we wanted to know more about. But I think what's happened through 2019 and will continue to happen through 2020 is a lot of them have actually become much deeper dives. They were fascinating enough for us to then study further, build into our daily lives. So the morning rituals, the power rituals we're trying to include, food habits have changed.
Wow.
The way we sleep has changed. Some of them are becoming work streams, like the organic food thing. There's a whole cooperative with urban farmers that we've created. A lot of them we've actually incorporated now in the leadership practices and the coaching principles that I hope to sort of establish in the global landscape and also derived from ancient wisdom. So yeah, well, it's been one interesting journey, and I sincerely urge you to try that out.
So I think you're onto something that's going to be very useful, and it's been untapped to such an extent that I find it quite puzzling, because how many speakers and how many books are written based on ancient wisdom? It's ancient Indian wisdom. If you look at it as a percentage of business success stories or self-help books, I'm sure the percentage is probably less than 1%. it's just unbelievable. So I think the world needs it. I think it's waiting for people like you to come in with the research and clear communication skills and make it simple, let them absorb it bit by bit and make it a part of their lives. So I think that's great.